The deadline to achieve a credible climate agreement is knocking at our doors. That is today's deadline. Countries have reached serious levels of negotiations with parallel bilateral channels working overtime to reach the target. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar met US Secretary of State John Kerry a second time since coming to Paris. Javadekar also met French Foreign Minister Laurent Fabius as efforts to ensure an all-binding agreement enter the final lap.
Union Minister of Environment and Climate Change Prakash Javadekar meeting US Secretary of State John Kerry for the second time in 3 days. The frequency somehow resonates the urgency with which both the countries are going ahead to find a common ground for a viable agreement. On its part, India is sticking to its stated positions on many contentious issues, while US has acknowledged that there may be need to relook at the language of the draft.
Well, we're working away. Today is obviously getting down to the critical stage, and we had a very constructive meeting. We feel very good about the conversation we've just had. We need to work on language, and that's what most of today and tonight will be.
India also described the meeting as a constructive one. Javadekar insists that India is all too keen to have a viable agreement on table, while accepting that there are many areas where work is still being done by negotiators.
Very good meeting, a very productive meeting. We discussed all issues, and we actually have many points of convergence. The language issues is being dealt by negotiators.
But really the Indian side is now looking forward to the final draft that will be made soon. India is pinning all the hopes on the draft, that it will include the points and issues that are central to its stated policies.
I hope that will be more accommodative, and we can actually react only after this second draft, because that is what will be actually final negotiating text.
The draft, when it comes out, will again set off a series of events with nations studying the proposals and reading the fine lines and coming up with their responses. All eyes are on the proposal draft and whether it represents the aspirations of the people or not.
It finally boils down to this: the final draft that will come at the COP21 summit in Paris. A lot will depend on it, whether there will be an agreement or not, and whether the nations, whether developing or developed, will come to a common platform to fight climate change. It will all depend on this very important piece of paper. With cameraman Tangaraj, Ravi Dhiman, DD News.